Hello, my fellow gamers. Gamer Dude, happy to be back once again, bringing you some more informative gaming news. But before we begin, y'all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. Please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Now, before we get into the video, once again, I do apologise for being away for a while. I have had a pinched nerve in my spine, and it has just sent my body into complete overdrive. I've been in agonising pain and have been literally unable to sit down, let alone play a video game. But I'm starting to feel better, at least better enough to play a game, so I'm back on the video creating scene. Now then, let's move on. Now, even though I'm showing Gotham Knights gameplay, this video is about Suicide Squad. And Rocksteady Studios' long-anticipated Arkham series follow-up is starting to look rather bold and beautiful. And it definitely looks set to turn the superhero genre on its head. Now, when Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League featured on last year's roundup, I kind of thought it already looked like a Game of the Year candidate, you know, just for the sheer beauty of it. Now, a few months later, after the initial trailer at Gamescom in December, Rocksteady Studios announced its post-Batman Arkham action RPG superhero venture would in fact launch this year, with a slightly delayed release date of May 26th, confirmed at the Game Awards last November. Nevertheless, despite needing a little longer in the oven than first planned, I am rather pleased to say that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could still be up there for a Game of the Year contender. I mean, of course, you know, I don't mean to, you know, put a nail on this, but it probably won't win, you know, given the fact that we're getting Hogwarts Legacy rather soon and Marvel Spider-Man 2 is coming out this year. So those two are probably heavy contenders to actually win it big. I'm just saying that Suicide Squad, given that it's in the Arkham universe, could be up there for a nomination. Now, for me, I say it's a contender because this game looks like Rocksteady as we've come to expect them. You know, it's fast, it's frantic, it's composed, and bursting with the seams of energy that the previous Arkham games had. But, you know, let's not forget that this is still like a post-Arkham universe game. So, if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League implies that they're killing the Justice League but don't, Rocksteady could still move forward with other Arkhamverse style projects. You know, that next they could make a Justice League game or a Flash game, which I've been saying for months now, because after playing Sonic Frontiers, I know they can pull off a game with a speedster and do it correctly. Just saying. But, you know, yeah, they could also make a Green Lantern game, anything, you know, with other developers up there with the Marvel games. I think it's about time DC had its time in the spotlight as well. No pun intended, you know, given Batman's giant signal spotlight. But yeah, unlike the studio's previous Caped Crusaders, Kill the Justice League appears to inject new levels of humor into the proceedings. You know, given the whole package some unprecedented dark comedic value, like cutting off the Flash's finger, for example. Like, how does that even work? Does the Speed Force heal him if he loses a limb? I don't know. Anyway, it was never a bad thing that the Batman Arkham series took itself seriously. But when games occupying the same space or the same universe today fail to hit the same moody heights as Rocksteady's previous outings 14 years ago, levity in the form of unhinged anti-heroes from the creators who do superhero hijinks is definitely welcomed, you know, because Batman himself could be, even though he's a hero, but he could be described as an anti-hero, because, you know, he doesn't kill, but it's a bad case of, well, yeah, I'm not going to kill this guy, but I'm going to give him a brain injury that puts him in hospital for the rest of his life, and he'll never be able to speak or move again. But yeah, he didn't kill him. He's still alive. So there's that. As long as he's still alive, it doesn't break his code, does it? Right? You see where I'm coming from there? Yeah, but Batman's a bad guy. Just saying. Anyway, this time, of course, as you know, we're going to be filling the boots of Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang. It's still not fully known yet if we're going to play as them individually or separately, like in Gotham Knights, where you play as Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood. You're going to be able to choose them separately between the levels, or if you just play as one particular person and a friend jumps in, similar to Gotham Knights, or if you play as one and they join you as NPC characters. I don't know that yet. We don't know that yet because oddly we haven't actually seen any gameplay. We've seen trailers of cinematics, but we haven't actually seen any gameplay yet. So, oh wait, have we seen gameplay? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if we've actually seen gameplay because I might have missed that. And if I have missed that, I do apologise. But yeah, I haven't seen any gameplay anyway. I've only seen the cinematics, and it looks like it's going to be very similar to Gotham Knights in that respect, is what I'm saying. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I digress. Kill the Justice League tasks us, with taking down the supergroup, this variant comprising the Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman by any means necessary, because they are the Suicide Squad. So Amanda Waller has sent them in, and obviously, if they don't comply, they've got bombs in the back of their heads, so their heads will explode. I'd love to see that, actually. If you go off mission, I wonder if there'll be like a cool animation where their heads explode. That would be quite funny, actually. I really hope they do that, actually. Like, if you're fighting one of the superheroes as a boss and you kind of like move out of the area, will Amanda Waller like shout at you, have a go at you, and then all of a sudden you just find out, like, you hear a beeping and your character's like, oh shit, and then boom, and then the head just explodes. It goes to black and like game over. Yeah, that'd be super funny. I'm a sick man for wanting to see that. But it'd be funny. It'd still be funny. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, as we've seen in previous slices of the in-game footage, that'll mostly involve absolutely ransacking the city of Metropolis while battering scores of the evil Brainiac's foot soldiers. Brainiac, by the way, has turned the good guys bad by way of brainwashing, because is there any other way to turn the good guys bad and the bad guys good? It's sort of like a nice dramatic role reversal, and I think it's actually going to work, especially considering where it's coming from, that it's in the Arkham IP. And I think that's really going to double the sales of it, given that it's a continuation, because, Harley Quinn calls out Batman as Bruce, so it is clearly a continuation of that. And not to mention, I just have to throw this in there, we have the late, great Kevin Conroy reprising his role as Batman, possibly for the final time. And it is still so sad that he will no longer be voicing the character. It's just moment of silence material right there. But yeah, we've seen everything basically turn to shit in this game, and it is a lawless hellscape of a town, creating the perfect storm for the Suicide Squad to get to work. It's kind of reminiscent of the Suicide Squad movie, actually, where they go into that city with where Enchantress has taken over everything and basically destroyed it. It's kind of reminiscent of that. But yeah, we might see Harley enacting grappling hook plunges or shoveling cartoon bombs into her enemies' mouths or up their butts. That just seems like a Harley Quinn thing to do, shoving things up their butts. Because in Gotham Knights we get Red Hood sticking bombs on people's backs, so why not Harley Quinn shoving bombs at people's butts? Oh man, I'm getting really sick thoughts about this game, aren't I? I'm just going to Forget I said that, and please forget I said that as well. I'm digressing again. But yeah, it may see King Shark scrambling across walls like the Incredible Hulk or like Spider-Man in that respect. You know, hammering down to the ground with an earth-shattering attack and a superhero landing or a supervillain landing. I might change that actually. Superhero, supervillain landing. I don't know. Should we say anti-hero landing? That doesn't sound as good. So we'll just stick with superhero landing. Yeah, let's just stick with that. But yeah, we might also see Deadshot picking off targets from range with a machine gun or a sniper rifle. If they put a sniper rifle in this game with Deadshot, I am never not switching from Deadshot because in any video game, my subscribers know that I am incredible with a sniper rifle. I mean, I absolutely hate Call of Duty, but whenever I play Call of Duty and I've got a sniper rifle, nobody stands a chance. I swear down. I am absolutely incredible with a sniper rifle. Call me a camper. I don't care. I'm great with a sniper rifle. It's not cowardice. It's just strategic. That's all I'm saying. We may also see the good captain rushing foes at lightning speed while dancing overhead or squatting over his enemies, you know. But I get the feeling that Captain Boomerang is going to be the more parkouring character. Like, Harley Quinn will do some parkouring, but I think Captain Boomerang is going to be the most parkoury one. But yeah, everything we know so far about this game is just based on the cinematics that we've seen. Yeah, the thought of doing all this in single player mode is exciting enough. But the idea that these sun-kissed streets of rage can be tackled up to 3 mates in online multiplayer, each controlling one of the remaining Suicide Squad members, could plant Kill the Justice League firmly among, as I mentioned earlier, a Game of the Year contender from its launch. You know, given the fact as well that it's a continuation of the Arkham series, which everybody thought was dead after Arkham Knight. You know, after all, Rocksteady has consistently proven its chops when it comes to solid superhero fare, and despite Batman's Arkham series being suited to its darker, moodier approach, being free of those past ventures, seriousness seems to suit a studio firing on all cylinders. And Batman, of course, was announced as a late addition to Kill the Justice League roster towards the end of last year, with, again, the late Kevin Conroy, a Batman legend, having recorded voiceover work for the character before sadly passing away last November. And I am actually really interested to learn how Bruce Wayne survived the explosion of his mansion. You know, because at the end of Arkham Knight, we see him walk into his mansion and it explodes. And it explodes really quick, you know, too quick for him to have escaped alive. But then in the post-credit scene for Arkham Knight, we see that kind of like scarecrow-esque fear image of Batman jumping off that roof. So was that Jason Todd? Was that Batman? We don't know. It wasn't made clear because it just finished. So that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, indeed, despite what's already out there in gameplay terms, we've not really seen an abundance of the game in motion. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think there's any actual in-game play footage. You know, we've seen cinematics, but no actual gameplay, which only makes the coming weeks and months all the more exciting. It is perhaps unfair to compare games from different studios against one another, but given the fact Gotham Knights failed to hit the spot for everyone, I myself had a nice time playing the game, and I did enjoy the story, but it was a bit on the nose and boring after a while. That's not to say it was a bad game, because it wasn't. You know, I did enjoy it. But yeah, time will tell if Rocksteady's attempt to a lighter, co-op supported ARPG in the superhero space is a winner. But if the studio's previous is anything to go by, not to mention everything we've been drip fed on the game so far, then I do expect we'll be having some important conversations about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League come when it releases later this year. Time will tell. We'll find out if it flops as hard as Gotham Knights, because it seems like they've adapted the same sort of mechanic for Kill the Justice League as they have, as WB Montreal did for Gotham Knights. You know, the whole multiplayer co-op thing, which is different. You know, we're not used to that in an Arkham game, because in the Arkham games you play as Batman and mostly Batman. You know, in Arkham City you could switch to Catwoman, but it was mostly just a switching aspect. You know, Batman was the main focus of the story, and you know the whole character switching thing was just between fights mostly, or just in small little DLC segments. But this, it appears, it is going to be like Gotham Knights switching. You know, you can pick one character to go out as, or you pick one character to stay as throughout the whole story, and you've just got a friend popping in to help you, or the other characters are just NPCs. I still don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, you see where I'm coming from. But anyway, yeah, that's all I could dig up on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I did promise I would keep you updated on the game as it developed, and I will still continue to keep you updated on the game. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it's going to flop? Do you think because it's in the Arkhamverse it's going to sell extraordinarily well, and it's going to do well, and we'll get more games in the Arkham universe, like I mentioned, possibly a Justice League game, a Flash game, a Superman game, anything like that, because I would love a Flash game or a Superman game. Just saying, all these Marvel games are coming out. DC deserves its time in the spotlight. You know, someone needs to do it. It is well deserved for DC to have its time in the spotlight with video games. I don't know why it's not as popular. Anyway, but yeah, stay tuned in the coming weeks. Now I'm starting to feel better, and I'm actually able to, sit down again and play a game, and I'm not in agonizing pain. I'll be doing a couple of uploads here and there, not to mention Hogwarts Legacy is due out in just a few days, so we'll be playing that non-stop, and I'll also be live streaming that as well. There's a lot coming this year, there's a lot to look forward to, there's a lot for me to produce, there's a lot for us to enjoy. So it's a big year. It is a huge year for gaming. I don't need to repeat it all again because I've said it so many times in my previous videos what is coming this year. And it is the biggest year for gaming since the next-gen consoles first launched. And that's a big deal, it's a big deal. So yeah, just stay tuned to the channel, and thank you all for stopping by. I really do appreciate your love and support and your patience with me over the last few weeks. Do apologize once again for not producing, but things happen, it can't be helped, and I do apologize. But I'm back, I'm feeling healthier, I'm feeling happier, and I can sit down, which I am so grateful for. I have missed sitting down. That's it for this video then. Thank you all once again for stopping by. I do appreciate it. You all know the routine by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So yeah, that being said then, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.